Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Saturday morning, March 22nd, and it is 6:27 in the a.m. I want to share a couple of thoughts with you about my week. As the title says, the ooh wee of my week. So, as I shared 2 weeks ago, my sister and I took a trip out of town to just look at my mom's house because we're wanting to sell it. Mom passed away in 2022, and we just kind of sat on the house for a year, you know, and I have no desire to be a landlord, especially in the city that my mom lived in. Um, you've heard me talk about that city. We moved from Buffalo, New York, to this particular city in what is known as the Big Valley of California, or the Central Valley. If you ever watched the Western themed TV show, The Big Valley, you will know what I'm talking about. And the folks that lived in the Big Valley, cowboys and farmers, Okies, uh, laborers, and very few wealthy farmers. As a matter of fact, if you've ever drinking Gallo wine, Ernest and Julio had a mansion in this particular city. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what the city was like. And again, I was raised in New York. I have New York sensibilities, although I've lived in California longer than I lived in New York. I was 17 going on 18 when I moved here. So all my foundation is New York. And I will claim that to the day I die. I don't care how long I live in this state. Okay, so we decided that, with everything in that house that had aged considerably, that was in much need of repair, um, we decided to sell it as is. And we had a rough idea of what the market value was. So, after doing a walkthrough, we dropped the keys off at the realtor. A week later, the house was sold. Now, during that next week, that was the week that I came out of work to find my car up on the sidewalk. Somebody had done a massive hit and run. So I've been driving a rental car for a week. I thought my car would be ready yesterday, and turns out that they found more damage when they took the quarter panel off, and so they're going to keep it another couple of days. Luckily, like I said, I was not in the car. Luckily, no one else was hurt. Luckily, and I use the word luckily lightly. I don't want you to think I believe in luck. I believe in God. I had the money. Now, of course, I haven't done my taxes yet because I have to pay every year. But at this moment, I had the money. So there you have it. That's the basic week. And I was upset yesterday, just aggravated because I thought I would have my car. Because I feel kind of skittish, if you will, driving a rental. That being said, I was irritated that my car wasn't going to be ready. So that was an undercurrent of my day. And every little thing just irritated me further. That being said, toward the end of the day, I have this older gentleman come to me because I'm techie. He says, I got this package and I don't know where it is. And I looked at him. I said, did you get an email? He said, yes. I said, did you click on the link? He said, yes. I said, did you order anything? I don't know. First of all, how do you know you didn't order anything? How does that happen? And then he's showing me all the printout of the package. He said, it's an international package. It said it went this, there, and the other place. I said, you're the victim of a hoax. What you need to do is turn your phone off. Call whoever is checking in with you during the day. Call them from the office phone. Don't turn your phone back on. Go to your carrier and tell them that you need a new SIMS card. You may have thought I was speaking a foreign language. But how do you know there's not a package? I remember one time I said, if you missed a delivery, they would leave a slip. And again, he went back and forth. Then he says, well, I'll just go to the post office. You do that. I was like, why did you come to me if you had a response? Okay, so that irritated me. And I hope at some point in life, I know I'm getting older, I hope I'm not that person. And we have cyber training every year. So you know enough to phone the original source, which there was none for this said package. Okay, I left that alone, but that irritated me on top of not having my car. Then another person gets on the phone. We have an intercom system, that's a phone. And they call me, because you have to buzz people into your office. They call me and they say, Konnichiwa. And then they hang up. Now I'm thinking, hey, it's somebody that's in the hallway that's lost or in the wrong building for a medical appointment. So I go to the door to show them how to get to the other clinic. Come to find out, it's a gentleman who managed to find his way up to the office. Then he says, I need to see my counselor. I tell him, hey, your counselor is not here. You need to contact your counselor by phone. Then it went to, well, I need help right away. Okay, check in with the counselor of the day. Provide the counselor of the day's name. Now, another gentleman is coming up to the door. I assume he was leaving. He interrupts my conversation to engage with this gentleman. Mistake number one. So the gentleman continues to talk to me. He said, hey, bottom line, I'm starving. Now I'm watching him shove food into his face as he's speaking to me, dropping the wrapper on the ground outside the office door. Now he's spraying crumbs while he's talking. So the gentleman who comes to the door interrupts again and says, hey, I have some Pop-Tarts. You want those? And he goes and gets the Pop-Tarts. One, you interrupted my conversation. Two, you don't know why I was talking to this gentleman. Three, you don't know he was playing on the phone. Four, this gentleman was just provided things from the floor he came from and continues to berate people when he doesn't get the food that he believes he's entitled to. Now, all this played out. So I waited till the gentleman left, and I went to the person that interrupted me. I said, "Don't do it again." And I said it not nice. I said, "Don't do it again." I didn't appreciate it. And you don't get to complain to me about poor behavior when you just rewarded it. And then I went on about my business. So this person comes back to me and says, "Well, obviously, I pissed you off about something." No, really? In all of the years that you've known me, have you ever known me to tell people not to do it again? Just come in their office and say, "Hey, don't do it again." In all the years that you've known me, have I not told you that the thing that irritates me is folks not staying in their lane? In all the years that you've known me, have I not told you I didn't ask for help, so don't interject? And you're more concerned about how I spoke to you, how I corrected you, than what you did. It's funny how people get upset with the tone you take rather than addressing what they did. That, my friends, is privilege.